Guys,
And guess what? I've made things work like big time. So we've got a robot walking like we had before. He shoots like we had before. And if I hit things, ooh, explosions. If I hit it enough, boom, it goes bye bye. I'm very impressed with those explosion effects, um, just because I didn't expect them.
ho, 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 ho.
So let me show how I did it off, or how I did it off, how I pulled this off. On the house, there is that damageable script, and it has a on collision enter instead of the bullet. Not the way I really wanted it to work, but it's working this way, so I'm gonna go with this for now. We'll probably switch it up later. But what it's doing is it has a health like before, has a damage effect, which I've drugged my prefab for the explosion, which was just the default Unity explosion. It looks that cool. That comes with the particle system. So that's a particle that's actually exploding like that. Let's see if we can get our bullet back here. Where'd it go? My creations, bullet. Oop, clicked the wrong thing. Bullet. So I just drug that over here to my script somewhere. Oh, I put it on the house. Yeah, see, this is really backwards. It needs to be on the bullet. But anyway, for now, it's on the explosion. I've got the explosion effect set up on the damage effect transform. Um, and in this on collision enter, we're looking for a damage provider component on the item or on the game object that is colliding with us. Setting it to variable, making sure it's not null in case something bad should happen, something else collided with it, and then pulling the damage amount from that. So very backwards, and then calling damage. We're also destroying the game object that collided with us, and then instantiating the damage effect, which in this case is the explosion, at the location of the collision. So things blow up now. That's what that translates to. The other cool effect, or cool part of it, and the reason why it wasn't working before, on the bullet itself, we had a collider. It needed instead to have a rigid body. But if I go here and check this use gravity, our bullets will then have trajectory and will fall down. You see it actually bounces off the ground. Ding, ding, ding. Let me go full screen so you can see it better.
Yeah, as soon as it catches up to me, yeah.
Game window,
Oh, yeah.
maximize.
You don't think it should have a little more range than that, though?
Oh, yeah, yeah. But that's, I just told it to use gravity. But that's weird. That went all over the place. Bouncing everywhere. Crap, it's bouncing around my feet. Because I'm spinning as I'm doing it, and it's throwing them out weird. Look at that one go.
Oh, boy, you can curve your shots.
Yeah, it curved the bullets.
Put the English on it.
We'll have to sort what that one's about, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, that is hilarious. I wonder if it's like tracing what you're doing with the mouse, maybe.
Well, it's.
Like a guided shot.
I'm not sure exactly what it's doing. I know the bullets, because they have rigid bodies now, will actually collide with each other. So if I could somehow shoot them into each other, or if I shot extremely fast, see, every once in a while I want to go flying off the side because they're running into each other.
Huh.
But that's why they bounce off the ground and everything too. But that's some coolness of having it actually use real world physics or stuff. And maybe for some of the bullets that makes sense to do. For this specific one though, not so much, right? It doesn't make sense that it's gonna have a bouncing bullet if it's just for a regular gun. Um, let's see, let's go over here. I think next, like, what arm did we put on the other side?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what's that other side doing?
He's just sitting there for right now, but what bullet? Let's see, we have a first-person controller, and we put bullet and a barrel end 1, a barrel end 2. We did assign them both. Let's see, it's script.
I don't know if you caught it or not, but you had somebody on your chat trying to be rude, so I kicked them.
I did. That's why when we were playing RoboCraft, I said, "You keep talking like that, you're gonna get banned." And said, "No one talks to my mama that way." She deserves better than that. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I didn't even give him the chance. I just banned him.
That's fine. I mean, that was the first thing out of their fingertips. So, let's see here. So I was looking at the bullet tips. So we're using bullet barrel end 1, so we need barrel end 2. So it is that side over there. Oh no, that's all the one gun. Shoot, the other side was missiles. That's what it is. If I can just get a hold of it. F. Yeah, it's missiles on this side. So, which gun did we use? Big rockets. So if we look in our, these are regular mechs. I think it might have been heavy or medium. Prefabs. Weapon. Rockets. No, don't replace. Rocket big. Prefab. There's the missile. Right here's the missile. So if we were to pull this in as a prefab into the world, what does it look like? So F to find it. It's right there. Pull it up. Nothing special about this one, it doesn't look like, so... Yeah, it doesn't do nothing. And I can shoot at it. See, this is why the bullets need to have the code on them to explode and crap. Because like, they should be exploding when they hit the ground. Looks appropriate to me. So let's do this. Let's go down here to our standard assets, prototyping.
Oh, okay. It looked bigger when you were like had it blown up, but I didn't think about it.
Prefab, not prototypes. We want particle system, prefabs, smoke. Let's give this bad boy a smoke trail. Go. Where is it? And let's reset its position. There we go. And set its position to the tail of it.
Oh, nice.
And then let's take the smoke and give it a short lifetime, I guess.
Yeah, that way it doesn't go billowing up. You want it to just, you know, basically dissipate as it's coming out the jet.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember duration, maybe. Maybe for 1.
Also, a flame effect coming out the back would look cool too.
Yeah, and there's a flare effect. We could do that. No, that's not what we want. There's a fire, maybe? Why is it not playing? Let's go look at that. Oh, the fire has smoke on itself. That'll do. What do you think? What do you think of that? Oh, it disappeared. So they have a lifetime to them. So how long they'll live. So let's get rid of the smoke and put the fire on there instead.
Yeah, that fire does look great.
And reset positions again. And F. Pull it back. Maybe down a bit. Flames glow. The flames are funky. I need to rotate the flame piece. So it's at 270, try 90. 0 gravity modifier. No. I got this whole thing backwards. Let's take this. Rotate this 90. 270. Might be the wrong direction. Might need to be 90. Walk faster, mech! It's too slow. Dang it, he is too slow. He got nowhere near it. So...
Okay, maybe you should set it up right in front of him.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Put it up pretty high too so we can see it.
When Gazer was on, he was like, when did Tech get 60 likes for his video? I was like, that's total cumulative. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the actual flames. Maybe just the glow effect. Kill the flame
Could you
effect.
shrink it down a little?
Probably. Say 0.5. I don't know how the particle system behaves with scaling. Yeah, it didn't look any smaller. Get that back to 270 that way. Yeah, it's just not what I want.
Maybe it'll look better when it moves. You know, maybe it'll make the flames stretch out behind it more or something.
Yeah, and I guess the flames would kind of lift up a little bit, wouldn't they? As they, heat and whatnot. So,
I mean, what can we say? Try it. I mean, just try to make it shoot it once, and if it looks really bad, then just take it off and just leave the smoke effects or something.
Yeah. The bullet move script probably will work on this, because I think it was pretty straightforward to make it go. So we got an update and a start, what we don't need. We got a lifetime, so we probably want to keep that. This on-trigger inner doesn't do crap. Or does it? Yeah, I don't think it does crap.
Debug log, ouch, that hurts. What the heck?
Yeah, I was trying to understand what was going on, and that was a way to talk to myself, basically. So if I take this here, this one, and add my script for bullet move, and crank the speed up because it's got to be a lot faster, right? It's 60. Make its lifetime 200, let's say. And then on our player, on its script, we're going to do the same thing we did before, except for we're going to take not the bullet, we're going to need another thing there, so we'll need a missile. And do it with the other button, so the right click button, basically. So fire 2, or I guess it'd be fire 3. Maybe it's 2, I don't know. So bullet is defined at the top.
User joined your channel.
Hello. Hey, Trader.
Hello. What are you guys doing?
Streaming Unity. What are you doing?
I just got back from helping math homework.
Oh.
Ooh, fun.
Hater maps and great circles.
How do you spell missile?
MISSLE, I believe.
I-L-E. Missile.
Okay.
Okay. Missile. And then I need to save that as a prefab. Blah blah.
On your Twitch?
On YouTube. Twitch actually hates me. They decided that I was breaking their rules and banned me permanently from Twitch, even though I hadn't used Twitch in 6 months probably. So apparently my account got hacked and somebody was doing something they shouldn't. That's the only thing I can think of.
Have you tried running a search for anything?
There's nothing to search. When they banned me, they took everything on my account off. I have no account with Twitch now. Wait, did we do? Oh gosh, the rocket launcher has 3 spots to fire from. No, I'm just gonna pick one of them. We'll do that one. Okay, so we'll want to add a rocket launcher. Missile end. Script point position, whatever you call it. So then, wait, you said it's ILE. Missile end, and then this one here goes to there. And in the code, fire 2 is going to instantiate missile. There you go, missile end. By the way, Trey, I showed this mech pack thing off earlier. It's pretty cool. There you go, Fiery.
Did you say you showed off?
The mech pack
That's
thing.
the mech.
Yeah, the asset I got from the asset store. Huh.
Nice.
I'm not so happy with the way the flames just kind of step everywhere every once in a while. Like,
Yeah,
that's kind of hokey looking.
It needs to be a steady stream.
Yeah. So I
I
need
think
to.
that's just an effect, or one of the properties of the particle effect.
Yeah, it is. Or it should be. So I need to look at the missile. And it's going to have a fire complex. Okay. So I need to go here. Fire complex. So there's the fire one. Is it like the number of them, you think, Trey? Max particles. 500.
Quality wasn't up high enough to be able to read what the...
Oh. Let's try it with 500 and then the flames for 500. Oh, they're only set to 10. That's probably what it is.
It depends on what you want it to be. You might want the fire only, like if you put it fewer, it might not matter how many, but the lifetime of it to be short so that it's right out the butt of the missile, and then have a longer lived smoke particle effect as that would be the trail of the missile.
There's something special about this particle system too, because it's got this empty that's containing everything, and it's got various scripts attached to it: a particle system destroyer and a particle system multiplier. What happens if I hit 10? Holy cow! Look at the size of that flame! Oh, it's
as
not
soon as
doing
it
under the
catches up.
Yeah, I was
prefabs.
gonna say. I guess I'm catching up because I don't see anything.
This is not gonna work right anyway. I gotta apply it to the prefab. There we go.
Holy cow!
It only happened once, right?
Yeah, it's because I didn't apply it to the prefab. I had it on the one that was in the world. I'm shooting the prefab, not the one in the world. So that's just made them all bigger is all it did. That multiplier. It's a missile.
That'll help you see exactly what's happening.
Iteration.
But I mean, it has multiple effects on it. Spark and a smoke and the fire.
Yeah. Oh crap, I didn't. Okay, hit that apply button. I almost think it would be better off with the glowing effect and not the actual flames and the smoke. The smoke's gonna give you the trail.
Well, I only set the flame just so it would look cool.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but they're vertical. They need to be horizontal coming out the back of it to indicate that it's got some motion to it. Well, external forces, maybe. Multiplier. No, it doesn't make any sense to me. Rotation. Inherent velocity. Let's try that one. Curve constant. Random between two curves. Let's try constant. And apply.
It's kind of nice. Full screen, 1080p. Looks like I'm doing it myself.
Yeah. Hmm.
Crap
Like-
at the same time.
When they're
Well,
going
that
away.
keeps the flame on it, but it just needs to stretch it out backwards somehow.
Yeah.
Be rotation, right?
Well, I thought it'd be rotation too, but it didn't seem to do anything. It's like if I give it a negative 90... Oh, that's the missile. If I give the fire complex, which is what the particle system is, a negative 90.
Do your, go to gizmos, isn't it? You can change the size of the gizmos so you can actually see the particle effect, maybe?
Oh, where? How do you get that gizmo
In
thing?
your scene.
Okay.
Along the top, there's a gizmos drop down right by the search that says all.
By the search that says all.
Right now, it's right above your rocket. There's the word gizmos.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what lets you either just turn them off or...
Thank you. I didn't know there was such a thing. So first off, that looks like it's down too low.
And just, yeah, right there.
So those flames are going up, but we want them to go back. Now that we can see them.
User joined your channel.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Poppy.
What's everybody up to?
Watching
What?
Tech does do things and stuff.
That's boring.
I should name the stream that. Tech does do things. That'd be awesome.
Things and stuff.
Oh, and stuff. Sorry, I forgot the stuff. Size by speed, color.
I'm
by
half
speed.
cooking dinner watching YouTube.
You're on a different mic, you sound different.
You sound very
No,
different.
I'm just about a foot further away than I normally am. And the walls are echoing differently because it's my laptop mic.
Ooh, does that help?
Does that sound better?
Yeah, you sound more like yourself.
Yeah.
Not that you sounded bad before.
I was just about a foot further away from my mic than I normally am. Really need to go buy a new headset. An actual mic on it.
Make my robot half plasma.
Or there we gave him some speed. Oh, I think I get it. Yep, additive. Okay, that makes sense. Don't know where additive's at, but okay. There it is, additive soft. So it's the duration or how fast it's emitting them. And I've given them a speed now. If I can rotate that. Rotate it 0. Okay, they're going back. Rotate it 90 that way. Okay, so it is that first one.
Want it to have a speed?
I don't know.
Because speed, I think, gives it a velocity probably relative to itself. Are you looking for it to be like a stream of fire or just a tail of fire coming out the butt of the rocket?
I want it to be a tail of fire.
I think
User
that
left
would
your
be
channel.
no speed, but the rotation. And since it has two values for that rotation, start rotation, 12 and a 14. Is that what you were changing, or are you changing?
I was changing the rotation of the emitter itself. But let me, so I've got this set up so it's got a speed. Let me turn the speed back off. Okay, so now if I change the render, I need to set the render on its side, I think. It did something to it. Okay, it's stopping it from showing. That's rendering that particle flames.
That
Which
might
looks
be.
like that.
I imagine it's, and it is a 2D image that it's rendering on the screen for you. So if you pivot that 90 degrees away from you, it's probably just flat compared to the way you're seeing it. All.
Oh, it's a billboard. That's interesting. We can have a box of flames around this thing. Look at that. When it catches up. Oh wait, maybe that does make sense. Maybe I change the shape of the... Maybe make it a cone of... Oh gosh, cone. Come on, cylinder. Let's try a cylinder of flames. Yeah, kinda.
Can you make it smaller?
I could probably make it smaller somehow.
I think it's still like go back to a billboard the way it was,
Yeah.
and you were up top on the transforms. Was it? It wasn't doing anything whenever you tried changing the transforms rotation.
No, like I'm doing it now. It's not doing anything to it, but that it did something when I had the velocity on it. Where was it? It was something in here. Start speed. So if I give it a start speed of 10, it's going to be shooting off that particle from the emitter.
I think if you watch it,
And then I can rotate
two,
that.
three.
If I do 180, it starts going down.
Start rotation is -12. I imagine going to 14. And it does look like the little image dances from pointing slightly to the left to pointing slightly to the right. So what if you change that start rotation to like 90 and nothing on the other part of it? Or just left it like the end rotation is 90?
So 90, 90, you're saying?
Yeah.
Aha! And then get rid of the speed again. You're the man. You got to figure it out.
We just kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, I see it now.
Oh yeah.
What? Oh, I didn't apply it to the stupid. Okay. We're getting there.
And you change the position of just it, or just the flames part. Put it a little bit further out the back, I guess.
0.5 scale maybe too, if I can. No, that doesn't change the size of the at all. So the transform of the particle system doesn't dictate its size or rotation. Just the rotation of its speed that it's emitting it at. Okay. So
I guess that's because anything on the flames down in that particle system, like the start size, would be its size.
So how do I start size there? Yep, that's it. Oh, we're getting somewhere now. But that's stupid because it's a billboard. When I rotate my view, so I'm looking down the barrel of the missile, it's still billboard horizontally.
Yeah.
That's the issue with billboards. So if I do a mesh, can I do a plane?
Well, I guess don't they normally do like a cross of some kind? So it's essentially a build that's vertical and horizontal, and it probably looks like crap, but
But that's still not going to fix the... Because the billboard's always on a plane that is parallel to your view. So if you look at something, say from this angle, it looks perfect. But if I look at it from this angle, it's still got that same going from the right side of the screen to the left side of the screen.
but you're
If I look at
you
it
do
down,
it as a render of a mesh, to find a mesh that is
across.
yeah.
Well, if I rendered on this antenna, just to cheat it, or the bullet. Gosh, that doesn't do anything. Okay, we do it on just a 2D plane. This mesh is too big, but that's the idea. So I need to add a new plane to the world and like the size of that fire. Create a 3D object, a plane, and it's gosh, I want to use different controls than this.
Well, that would be great if we were shooting fire missiles. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Let's see, 0.125. Gosh, that's huge. 0.125, 0.125. And let's put this. Let's duplicate it. And then this one will be rotated 90 degrees along its y-axis. No, x-axis. There we go. And let's make a new empty. Cross plane. Those in there.
yeah,
and,
I tell you, my YouTube channel's taking off too. I mean, I'm up to three subscribers, man. I mean, whoo!
what? You gotta make some videos now. You can't make a new object and have it work.
Yeah, it was. It's you, Kiana, and
Fly?
No.
I'll just call him Sly. Oh,
No,
okay.
it's not him. Somebody else. I totally forgot their name too.
Somebody you banned, probably.
Nope. No, it wasn't actually.
Need a
It was somebody I
mash.
warned about banning, however. But I didn't have to. So.
Okay, so that's not gonna work. But if I did the flames on this, can I change the mesh render scaling? No. I might just have to model a 3D thing. For now, we'll just do billboard. And we'll go with that, I guess. And I forgot to apply it.
Yeah, this is totally becoming a distraction that you didn't need.
What is? The missile
flame.
thing? Yeah.
Just the flame. The missiles is what you were trying to work on. The flame is getting in your way now.
Yeah. Okay, now we need to do a rigid body with a damageable damage provider, I guess. And that would be over here on this. So now I need a damage provider. Damage amount is going to be 100 because it's a freaking missile. And there we go. Oh. Wait. Yeah, I did something wrong. Damage provider 100. This is on the missile. We can get rid of this missile from the world.
So do you have it set up that you're
The what? I cut you off.
able to customize things like your mech and everything?
In this game, no. But what I showed off earlier was all the different prefabs that you can drag in. I can show you real quick if you're interested in that. So let's do it with the spider mech this time. Go to prefabs. I'm gonna start out with spider legs heavy, spider legs light, and medium too. There's different views of it, whatever. Let's get some more space here. And then I'm gonna drag in its shoulder plates. Where are they? So shoulders. Let's do this one this time. Spider legs heavy. I go to its root, its pelvis, and then it has a top. And on its top, it has a mount. You always want to drag things into the mount because it keeps the relative positions right then. So I just drag shoulder med bot right onto the mount. Boom. That same mech has shoulders. Now I drag in whatever cockpit I want. So let's say this flyer one. Oops. Onto the shoulders mount place for its cockpit. Let's do this gun one. Yeah, he's got that in place, right? And I imagine that gun probably has another position for a gun. Mount backpack, mount main weapon. Yep. Look at this fire. You can put a gun in them where the head should be. Main. Yep, that's what it's for. Look at that. That is sick. And then on his shoulder mount points, he's got a right and a left. We can put different weapons there. So that's the cockpit one. There's the other one. So if I do sniper rifle on the left one, I now have a mech that's been totally customized. And if I just hit play, he's going to do some animation. Yeah, he's doing some type of rolling on the ground animation right now. And its gun is default state for that center gun is to be firing. That's why it's like that. But it all uses the Unity animation system. So if I click on the legs and go to animator, you can see it goes from entry over to roller. But if I wanted it to walk, I just right click set there's default state, and now that bad boy is gonna be walking along, and we gotta walk in mesh. I mean, stupid simple stuff to do. You know, this controller on this, I took a copy of the first person shooter controller, drug it on here, made the camera out the back of this guy so that you can see him, because otherwise it's kind of silly. And then set up these fire buttons and stuff. But where he looks is the direction it rotates the mech itself. It matches up pretty well with his steps. But I'm not pushing forward right now because his walk animation is the default. Eventually I'll change it so that that's over to something else. And our missiles now have gravity because I added rigid bodies. But let's just go back to fixing that stuff. So, really cool system for not that much, and the artwork is amazing. So if I go into these materials, he's got them set up with different colors. You probably can't see it very well. Got set up with different colors, so you can change out the material that's used on them and have a red team versus a blue team, for example.
Nice.
Looking like your bullets bounce off the ground.
They do. I put rigid bodies on them.
They do worse than that.
And the ground has colliders. They bounce against each other too, so they'll ricochet and crap.
He can arch them.
Yeah, they have gravity on them right now. I'll probably leave gravity off on the bullets and the missiles.
Well, no, I mean you can still, like when you're turning your mouse and it,
Oh, yeah.
you're firing, you can.
I'm not sure what that's about. Somehow it's getting some. Maybe it's colliding with the mech itself. That could be. It could be hitting the bounding box of the mech and making it turn. Because we could do this, Trey. We could be spinning and shoot the bullets, and they were like bending around the walls and stuff sometimes. I don't know. Maybe it's not gonna do it. Just
Up where it's
just trust me.
instantiating the bullet. Like, is it a little bit out in front of the mech, or?
It's at the point where this guy defined where the end of the bullet is, so maybe it's not quite far enough, or I'm rotating into the bullet as it's instantiated, is what I think is probably happened. Because it's just a rigid body, because you need a rigid body on either the projectile or the object it's going to hit in order for it to trigger the collision. The collision code.
Yeah, before he could literally start arching them around him like a hula hoop. You'd just see bullets just running around in circles.
Yeah, see that one right there. That one right there. I don't know what the frick it's doing, but it's going around
When
in
it catches
circles.
up.
Like, I'm just, this thing's circling me, and I don't know why. Did you see it yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
There was one right now. You probably can see it. I'm
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah.
It's like when I shoot them too fast, they get going out and hit each other.
Yeah, but it's like it has a constant acceleration of orbiting you as if you're the gravity point or something.
Yeah.
If it's just hitting you and ricocheting off you, it'll just change direction. But
Look at that one on the ground. It's just buzzing around in circles. I don't know what these things are doing.
a bullet script, like
I made the bullet script, so maybe I did something stupid. Is it Control P? Yeah, Control P. So on the bullet itself, there's a script, bullet move. Look at that one. I'm just on the fixed update, doing a transform on its position forward. So if for some reason the bullet tip were to start rotating, I guess that would make it keep rotating in that direction. That's probably what's going on. I'm causing some type of rotation on it, and it's making it spin because of the rigid body, and I'm just moving it forward in whatever direction it's headed. Towards the bullet tip always, even if it's rotating. So I need to apply a force to it now that it's a rigid body. In fact, let's do that. Transform dot.
also I noticed your guy was starting to slowly go up in the air as you got hit by things.
Let's see.
You'll need to just add some sort of, I assume you're going to completely change the player controller probably, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
we'll need to make sure he's on the ground all the time, or I guess he just doesn't have gravity applied to him.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have any rigid body on him at all for physics. He's just a collider. Yeah, I guess he is kind of off the ground. Weird. Wonder how. Or maybe, oh, maybe it's my script that I'm using to do the mouse. I don't know. Yeah, there's lots of little bugs. It doesn't surprise me. Oh wow, I just realized what time it is. So I think there's an add force to a rigid body. Maybe apply force? Rigid body to add force. Okay, I guess I need to get the component. RB rigid body RB equals get component dot rigid body RB dot apply add force vector. It's gonna do the same thing. Times speed times time. We don't want to go forward. We want its initial forward position to be saved when it's instantiated, and continue to apply the force in that direction to avoid startup. Bullet direction. Private.
Fixed update happens every time, right?
Fixed update's the one that happens for physics updates. Update's the one that happens on every frame. So fixed update is a constant rate, or should be.
Right, but I'm just thinking, the bullet shouldn't be having a constant forward force added to it, right? It should just have an initial speed, and then
You should have an initial speed, unless you want it to maintain that speed, because I would imagine it's going to slow down over time.
well, it shouldn't. If there's nothing else affecting it, it won't slow down.
Is there draggable to stuff in Unity? Like,
You add it, and there is like you can add drag to the rigid body, but right now it's set to no or
Drag.
0 on your
Yeah.
bullet.
okay. So,
Get rid of that little bit of angular drag as well. I don't know what that really affects, but
times time dot delta time. Come on.
Hey Tech, can you change the description of your stream midstream?
Yeah.
Okay, because you might want to put a P in prototype.
Proto DYP. Huh?
Because I don't think you're prototyping.
typing
But my my screen says this, right? Prototyping. Refresh your page. Maybe I had it wrong initially. But here's what I was thinking, Trey. In this, there's a force mode.
It still says it.
And there's different types. Instantly adds impulse to the rigid body using its mass. I'm gonna try that one. So then, the only thing that's left that needs to be in here is gonna be the lifetime piece to destroy it. And the bullets just fall to the ground. Something went horribly wrong here. It's kind of awesome watching the bullet. I need to spawn in bullet casings with a really short lifetime. That would be awesome. Like, have them flying off like that, because it almost looks like that, the bullets. Oh, those bullets are pushing me up. Oh, hilarious.
Impulse thing instead of whatever it's supposed to be.
What should this be? Force? Adds continuous force to your body using its mass. Yeah. Doesn't look any better.
I don't know if it's even force that you want to add. Like, can't you just set the velocity of the rigid body?
Time.delta time screwing it. It being start, there is no delta time. Okay, now they just sit still. Did I set speed? Speed's 3.
Can you do RB dot velocity? Directly set it, or
Maybe. Spending the bullet speed at 32.525. RB dot velocity. Okay.
set
What
velocity?
is it? It's a vector 3. So transform times speed. Good thing you know what you're talking about, Trey.
Yeah, I seem like I do, or it worked.
It worked.
Oh.
My damage provider's not working for those. Damage provider for the missile. Set to 100. Okay, what's it on the building then? There's a script in there. That's damage.
Hiding with this?
Convex. So it's just checking to see if the collider itself has a damage provider script on it. If it does, then it tries to go and do crap to actually damage it and destroys that object. Getting the damage amount, which is what I set down here on the damage provider. So I set that to 100. It's got a rigid body. Wait, maybe the rigid body's too small or something silly. It's a game window. So the rigid body piece of it. Wait, there is no size to rigid body. Do you need a collider and a rigid body, you think? There's a capsule collider on that. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I think if you want something to interact with it, I think it needs the collider.
But there's a collider on the building though, that's why I was...
Right, but the bullet itself.
Because I tried it with just the capsule collider, and it wouldn't work. You needed the rigid body for it to work. And I really don't want them to be rigid bodies, but I need them to be able to collide. I guess I could reverse it and make the building a rigid body.
The way you would normally do it is add the collider and say is trigger. Like that is trigger box. And then that's... You do parts of the script of on trigger enter.
I tried that. I had a collider on the bullet with is trigger, and on trigger enter, it never got fired. And I had a collider on the building too, and it just never got fired. I don't understand why. Because I thought the exact same thing of what you said. That's what the trigger collider is about. It's not about stopping it from going into the object. It's about notifying the code that it's about that it went into the object or through the object or out of the object.
I can tell you it definitely works. And maybe you need rigid body as well, but you just use is kinematic,
Which is
so that it's not affected by the environment.
Is that what is kinematics for?
It means you apply forces to it through scripts. nothing in the environment's gonna do anything to it.
You can only be manipulated by its transform, it says. See, this is used for moving platforms when you want to animate a rigid body. There's a hinge joint attached. Okay. So we couldn't apply it force, we would need to manipulate its transform, which is what I was originally doing.
Right.
That would fix the bullet problem too. So I've got a collider on this now. Let's see if it actually... Oh, crap. Yeah, it does. That's what it was. It needs a collider and a rigid body both. Weird. So let's apply this. That's probably good enough too. If the center of the missile hits, it should be fine. Crap. Gotta get rid of the one in the game. So I can hit the building a couple times with my bullets. It takes damage. Or I can fire a rocket at it and it just blows up instantly. Now, can I take the bullet and look at its explosion property? Where is it? Oh yeah, that's right. See, that's another thing. Because I put the code for the damageable script is actually doing the collision detection, it needs to know what the damage effect is instead of the other way around. I want it to be on the object that's making the collision so I can have a missile explosion be different than a bullet impact, right? They just don't make sense this way. It's backwards. So this needs to be on the other piece. I don't know. That's for another night though, because it's too late for messing with that. What else can we do with this right now? That one's tumbling from hitting the bullet building. Yeah, they're definitely spawning too close to the end of the barrel or something. So let's do code change in here. Barrel and transform position plus dot forward times 0.5. Go half a unit forward. What? Okay. Yeah, now I can't collide with them. They're spawning a little bit in front of the end of the barrel.
Plus, if you
I can get the bullets to hit the missiles. What were you gonna say, Jerry?
I was gonna say something about the seeing the missiles tumble away. And actually, missiles would make more sense as a different script to like add a constant velocity coming out the back of it, depending on the way it's pointing.
So it continually accelerates.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say about making the bullets. Well, are they as kinetic now? Are they?
They are not. That's why they're tumbling.
Right. And it's, I guess it all depends on what you want them.
Yeah.
That could affect performance later, but
Yeah, and I do have them set up. Well, I should have done that. I should do it this way. So if you look at maximize on play, turn that off. When I play this, you'll see the objects spawn on the left side of the screen, and if I stop, eventually they would disappear. Or they better, I've broken something. I must have the lifetime cranked way up for those bullets. There they go, they're starting to disappear. So, I am aware that if I don't do that, eventually these things are gonna just be like 10,000 of them on the game, right?
Well, not only that, I was thinking just in terms of something's is kinematic, or it's only a trigger. I believe it requires less processing power than something that you need to calculate the physics environment or actions.
I would be shocked if it's not like that.
And then that would also... So while your little mech guy would also have a collider on him, you...
Wouldn't be
Can.
colliding with the bullets.
Well, it would, but you can make them as different tags or different groups, and you can... There's like a little grid of what you can say collides with what. Happened to your missiles? They're not moving.
I turned is schematic on, and we don't.
That's
We're
right.
setting the initial velocity.
So the bullets can be is kinematic, but the missiles would need, if you're gonna add a constant force or something to them.
Bullet is the same. I left that the same. I didn't change it. So if I change the bullets now, they're also just gonna drop right where they are.
Because that would be
So I need to go back to my original way I was doing my script, where I'm
grab the
manipulating.
transform and then manipulate the velocity of the
I was
position.
doing an actual transform on it, like this. I wasn't using the rigid body at all to begin with. So this should work. Yeah. Of course, now they're no longer colliding with the thing. Crap. So they need to be triggers then at that point, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I believe so. Or it might just need to be two different scripts with a little bit different code of when the bullet interacts with something, and then an object can receive that interaction thing.
So on collision inner is what I've got going now, but it needs to be on trigger something or other.
Could be the building could say on trigger enter, hey, what just came into my space? Was it a bullet? Okay, grab its damage value, apply that damage value to me, that kind of thing.
Which is what it's doing. So it's checking to see if the thing that collided with it is a damage provider, which means I put a damage provider script on that object, and then getting the damage amount from that damage provider, destroying the damage provider, and instantiating the damage effect, which is on the local building. But I guess I could move that over to the damage provider also. That would fix it. So let's see if it running with a trigger works instead. But the trigger needs to be on the building, doesn't it? For that to work. Not on the bullet. Or it might have got those backwards. Right now they're all set up as triggers, so let's try.
Yeah, I'm not sure which way. Can't remember.
Nothing. It's doing nothing. So let's do it on the house. Not sure what these convicts does either.
Might be the building that just needs trigger.
Okay, so one of those missiles should kill the building altogether. Turn the trigger off on the missiles and the bullets. Turn it back on the building, which means now I can walk through the building. I couldn't walk through it before. Yeah, nothing's happening. Let's pause it. The console has nothing besides the compile error. Missing parameter has to be a type collider. Oh.
This is one of those things that I've seen done several times and never actually did it myself, so I don't have it ingrained in my memory from.
There we go. That worked. So the issue was I had a bug in the code and it just let it run anyway. It needs to be a collider, not a collision. So there's a difference between the parameters on those two functions. It's a damageable. This is a trigger. I'm going to turn the trigger off and put the trigger on the bullet and everything instead. See if that works. Get rid of this bullet out of the world. Boom. Let's go. Yep, that works. So now I can collide the bullet with the object, the building, and the building stops me from walking into it because it's not a trigger, it's an actual collider in the world. And missiles blow up too. Cool. Thank you.
But again, the end result was the bullet was the trigger and the building was just a collider?
Correct. But it does look like it works the other way around too. So now
But
maybe
you
I
would
can
be able
move.
to walk through the building if you made it the round, right?
If I made it the way around, I'd be able to walk through the building. Yes. Which also means, because it is kinematic and is not a collider itself, it's just going to be a trigger, I could not bump this bullet with anything else. Like, I can't set the bullet off with, well, I can't anyway because there's no setting off on one of those. But I can't cross the streams here and have bad results in front of my face. Which maybe we should do next.
Unless you
Change the on inner trigger. On trigger inner. So this is not defined as a trigger, the building. But the building has this damageable script, which is calling on trigger inner. So a triggered entered its collider. So what happens if I move that over to my damage providers script? Because that's where I want it to be. I want to know when the damage provider, the bullet, hits a building, because I don't care if it's a building or what it is. I want, if it's something that's damageable, I want to damage it. I don't care what it is. In fact, I'm gonna throw this in Notepad because I'm gonna screw this code up big time in a second. So this is on the damage provider. So anything that's gonna be able to do damage, I want to damage it with damage amount from this thing. So I want to do this. Damageable. I don't care about that right now. So give me the damageable, the thing that it can take damage. And we're going to call its damage method with the damage amount from this local script. And destroy the game object that collided. So we're going to destroy this game object. So destroy the bullet. We're not going to do any effect, but that's okay, because I want this damage effect to be on the bullet so I can make each bullet type different. Hey, it destroyed it. Cool. And it's not creating the damage effect. Yeah, awesome. This is the direction I wanted it to be. So if I look at this now, I can take this damage effect off of the damageable script and move that over to the damage provider instead of the damage provider individually.
Excuse me.
So if I look at the explosions, particle system, explosions, prefabs. So explosion, this is on the bullet, right? Yeah, bullet. Let's make him have a dust storm instead. I don't know what dust storm is, but we're gonna make him have a dust storm. Really? Damage provider. Damage effect. Is it a compiler? Yes. Catch up, Unity. There we go. So we're going to instantiate a dust storm there. And on the missile, we're going to instantiate an explosion instead. So now when I shoot the building, we'll get a dust storm if I shoot it with bullets. No, we won't. I didn't update the code. Dang it. Now when I shoot the building, we get a dust storm. Yep, there's a dust storm. Horrible effect for bullet colliding, but it worked at least. And if I shoot it with the missile, we'll get an explosion. Yay! So if I do a, what's a flare? Find the flare, please. That would be cool, but we only want it to last for 1 second.
If it could like fade out, you know, that would be great. So like the dust looks like it settles. You know?
Yeah. So what's the explosion effect do when I put it in the world? So it's got a special script on it that kills these things. Maybe that's something for another night, I guess. But we can toy with that stuff. It's working like I wanted it to earlier today. Yay! That's all that's important. It just has a hokey dust effect. Although it looks like the explosion doesn't occur at the point of impact, but instead at the point of the center of the damage a bull, not the damage provider. So this transformed that position. Let's try that instead. There we go. Now we got the explosion in the right spot. What? What is this? That's what we wanted for the rocket. Oh my gosh, that's so much cooler.
Let me guess, you just found a flame stream or something.
It's called Afterburner.
Ugh. Oh yeah, that is so it.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have even had to do anything to it.
No, it's perfect.
That's
I mean, it's a little long, but we can deal with that.
That's what she said.
Missile. Yeah. Delete. And then prototyping. No, particle system. Prefabs. Afterburner. Ah, it's rotated wrong. Alright. 180. And then transform the X position. Nope. Y Z position. Oh my gosh, that's so perfect. Oh, look at that. That is sick.
As soon as it catches up, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good and Billy Bob right there.
Or you could make that an option or one type of missile.
Yes, you're right.
Maybe a faster missile or something.
I hear my name being called, so I need to go. Goodbye, everyone on stream. It is almost bedtime for the kids, so I gotta go anyway. Night, guys.